Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. Hope you had a great night. Hope your morning's off to a great start. Opening day of the NFL season. I don't know if you are as pumped up as I am for this, but I certainly am. We get the Bucks and the Cowboys tonight. I will, for a night, be a Cowboys fan. You're welcome, Cliff Nelson. Or maybe not even so much a Cowboys fan. I will just be an anti-Bucks guy tonight. I will be massively interested to see what the Bucks are. I heard. I believe it was it Tony Gonzalez. I think it was Tony Gonzalez. That was one of these talking heads who said that the Bucks are going to go 17-0 and win the Super Bowl. And I'm like, shame on that guy. He knows how hard it is to win in the NFL. How could you possibly suggest that a team was going to go undefeated, especially in a new 17-game schedule? There's an inevitable decline for every player. Maybe this is the year for Tom Brady. Maybe not. We learned last year he did what he did on a bum knee. But remember, Tampa wasn't good for 2/3 of the year, and they came on strong late. They hit their stride in the playoffs, but that was not a dominant football team. They just played their best football late. So now I'm hopeful Dak's back and healthy and gets a win tonight and puts Tampa in the L column. Let's say some good morning, see what y'all got. As always, appreciate you being here. If you're on YouTube, do us a solid and smash that like button. Please like the channel or subscribe to the channel as well. Facebook, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. All right, y'all, let's get rolling here. Andrew Brister, Kristen Mayu Dice, good morning. It's football weekend, it is. What's our college game tonight? Let's see. Do we have a college game tonight? Maybe we don't have a college game tonight. We shouldn't we? Nope, no college game. I guess they're going to respect the start of the NFL season. So, no college game tonight. We have 4 games tomorrow. Kansas at Coastal Carolina. North Carolina A&T at Duke. North Dakota, Boise State, and Utah State, and Utah, Boise State. I guess a chance to see Kansas and Coastal might be good for a Friday night. Megan Boyce Hurst, good morning. Kirk Taylor, good morning. Kristen Jackson Hodges says hello on the way to school. What's up, Jackson Hodges? Thank you for watching Morning Scone. Fist bump to you through the magic of the interwebs. Work hard, be respectful of your teachers, stay awake in class, ask good questions, participate, be nice to everyone, study, do whatever your mom says. You know what I mean? All the good stuff, man. Onward and upward. You got this. Jackson Hodges, shout out to you today. A1A. Brandon DeVille, I don't know why I just said A1A. A1A is Beachfront Avenue, right? That's from that's from Ice Ice Baby. The receptors aren't firing quite yet. Brandon English, good morning. Brandon Hurt, so thank you for the message. So Brandon sent his wife to go see Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions and sent me a very nice note about how happy his wife was with their session. I actually went yesterday. Y'all, I know I say this to you often, and it's more of a PSA than anything. I'm not selling anything here. I'm just someone who's lived with pain most of my life to where it's severely limited the things that I can and can't do. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I have a strategy to get out of pain and to live comfortably again. And that's so trying to think of the adjective. Liberating, wonderful. Anyway, so if you or someone you know and love is living in pain, book a session with Crystal Poche at restoredmotions.com. Vino Frazier got the Bills going all the way. I think the Bills are going to hit a speed bump this year, man. I'm just not. They got a winnable division. I'm actually really interested to see what New England is this year. Interestingly enough, Jimmy Ott picked the Bills to win, or the Patriots to win that division. Be interesting. Dylan Landry, good morning. Thoughts on the comments from Shanahan and Ingram yesterday? Yeah, Dylan. I'm guessing you're talking about the out of shape thing. Ed Ingram said, they were out of shape. They were tired and out of shape. That's really disappointing. I mean, it's always you. What does Ed Ogeron say? Camp gets you ready. The off season gets you ready for camp. Camp gets you ready for the season. Well, maybe they could blame it on all the rain days when they had to go inside to the indoor facility. I don't know. Or maybe they just got leaned on by a really good defense and weren't very good. Woodward out on the Ponderosa yesterday. The man is lurking. Kirk, honestly, Woodward goes to practice a lot. That's not uncommon. Kelly Gross, good morning. Pat Huseman, Michael Milliken going against Devin and Leonard. Interesting. I'm going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's not interest. That's actually exactly what I should do. I'm a Saints fan. I want Tampa to lose. I want the teams in the division to lose. So I hope Devin White and Kevin Minter as well. I hope they play great and lose. Kurt got some action next. I've never been super into action, honestly. It's never really been my thing. It's hard for me to get into bad football. Let's see. Remember Mike D raving about Ingram when he was reinstated? What happened from then till now? Not just Mike D. Everybody did, man. I remember Ryan Clark made the "put him in there, let him smash people's children" comments. I still think Ed's a really good player. He's the one on the line who has the highest draft potential. Right now, I'd say he's a middle round pick, but cohesion matters, man. Ed Ingram was supposed to be next to Dare Rosenthal. Instead, he's next to Cam Wire and then Charles Turner, and who were both turnstiles this weekend. So, all that matters. Clint LeBlanc, good morning. Ray Slocum, good morning. Michael Kennedy, good morning. Chase Pellegrin. Morning, Matt. If everything goes right, how long would you like to see Nuss play? I'd hope at least most of the fourth quarter, but history shows a drive or two. I think Drew's awake. Yeah, Chase, sure, I would love to see him play the whole fourth quarter. And in 2019, they did get Burrow out of there sooner and let Brennan get meaningful snaps and run the offense and stuff. And they had plenty of opportunities to do it. Les was always the king of just putting guys in to kneel down. It's like, come on, man. But I also think when you have Max Johnson, who's only started 3 games in his career, I think every rep is valuable for Max. I think you have to consider that as well. What it's like for him to go through a 4-quarter game and to stay efficient, whether you're winning or losing. I think you just got to put him in every situation. So I understand the question, but in this instance, I think you got to get your starter experience as well. Bubba Tatum, good morning. Scored 2 tickets for the Bucks Cowboys tonight. Trying to decide if I can stomach both of those fan bases or sell the tickets for $1,000. I'd sell them, but whatever. Josh Giraldo, what's up? Thoughts on Tony Jones being RB2? I think that was a no-brainer if you watch the preseason. Latavius Murray was a step slow, and Tony Jones looked ready to roll. So let's see what he got, man. And if he falters, you can always go back and sign Latavius Murray. Spurge, what's up, man? Alex Day, morning, Matt. No way the Cowboys beat the Bucks today. I wouldn't say no way, Alex. It's the NFL. That is the greatest part about the NFL is the legitimacy of the any given Sunday mantra, or in this case, Thursday. But you can go throw out no way. But how healthy is Dak? Don't know. Or the Bucks, the team they were at the beginning of the season last year at the end. I don't know. 8.5 point spread though. Jesse Brown, good morning. Shelby, getting prepped for community burger giveaway tomorrow in Montague, just south of home. 1,000 burgers, a few hundred cases of water for anyone in the area. Very cool, Shelby. Hey, remind me of that tomorrow, and during AFR, and I'll be sure to shout it out too. Thomas Lamont, morning, Matt. Feeling like Clyde might have a big year with KC. Thoughts? If he's healthy, absolutely. I mean, it's why they drafted him into that offense, and boy, does he fit it, doesn't he? It's funny, he scored on in the opening game of the season last year, got in the end zone, and had a little bit of a dry spell after that, battled some injury, but I think Clyde's going to be great. Let's see, Jordan McNeese, love Who Dat Nation, but I've been intrigued with watching the Browns offense. Yeah, man, I mean, you got enough LSU guys there, don't you? Bengals, too. Gulf South, thoughts on Clemson's DC being the next LSU head coach? You're talking about Brent Venables. And you know what, man? I don't think that's going to happen. First of all, you don't hire a first-time head coach. Let me rephrase. Scott Woodward is not going to hire a first-time head coach. So that's not going to happen. And the interesting thing about Venables is normally if you're a successful coordinator like that, eventually you move on. So one of two things is happening there. And he's had interviews. So one of two things is happening. Either he really doesn't want to be a head coach, and he's super content being a coordinator, or two, he is just a terrible interview, which might be the case. I mean, it might just be that he's had a lot of interviews and people get him in the room and they're like, scratch him off. Bucks Skull Gang in-house. Hi, Matt. Who do you pick today? I mean, if I had to bet everything I own, I would pick the Bucks to win on a money line play. I don't necessarily like 8.5 points in an NFL game, but I'm pulling like hell for the Cowboys to pull the upset. Edge of the boot. My buddy has $1,000 on the Cowboys beating the Bucks with his father-in-law, going to his watch party to mentally support him. Hopefully he's got $1,000 to lose. I'm pulling for him. Jeffrey Parrott. What up, Scone? Hope you and your family are good after Ida. Thoughts on Trufant possibly getting Roby from the Texans? So Jeffrey, here, I'm going to put in the comments my take from yesterday on Roby. Here you go, put it right in the comments. So when you have a chance, go watch it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again, but Cliff's notes is, I like it. He was playing the number 1 for the Texans, but he's really a number 2. Contract is very workable. They could get out of it after this year with no dead money. I like it. But if you're interested, I posted the link there. If McNeese makes it close this week, any chance Ogeron is gone this week? I don't think so. I think he'll coach out the string this year, barring something drastic changing with the Title IX stuff. Spurge, morning, Matt. Love to see Tampa lose to America's team. Why does Dallas still hold that moniker? No idea, man. Maybe it's just ingrained in a certain generation. Like, I don't think young fans say that. Roby's still suspended. He is, and I go through that in the video as well. So he's unavailable week 1. But he would be available week 2. So so the Roby trade wouldn't help you at all this weekend, obviously. But I like it going forward. Reagan Lee, if or when O loses his job, chances we could get Kiffin. If not Kiffin, then who? I'll continue to say this. Kiffin would be my number 1 choice, but I also think that for the same reason they didn't hire Kevin O'Sullivan, they wouldn't hire Lane Kiffin, barring something dramatically unforeseen. And I'll keep saying this as well. I said it a lot last night on Nightcap. Don't rule out Jimbo Fisher. The thing that you can laugh, but the people, I'm not saying it would definitively happen, but the thing too many people forget is when Scott Woodward did the deal with Jimmy Sexton to get Jimbo from Florida State to A&M, they put no buyout in that contract. So Jimbo has no buyout. He's got a massive deal with no buyout. He can leave whenever he wants. and they can fire him whenever they want and owe him nothing. There is no buyout. So if Jimbo doesn't like Texas coming into the SEC, he loves Baton Rouge. He had, or maybe still has, a house here. Hang on one second. Drew's awake. Hang on. Let's go say hi to Dad Show. Go say hi to Dad Show. Go say hi. Say hi, Dad Show. Come sing. Come say hi to Dad Show. You're just gonna stand right there. Well, I can flip for the YouTube peeps. Say hey, bud. Say hi, Dad Show.
I did.
Very good. Where are you going today? Hey, where are you going today?
To
To the New St. Lillian. There you go. All right, let's see. 7:47. Couple more minutes, y'all. Henry Gordon Bennett with the addition of Roby for the Saints when they get their DT back after suspension. This is going to be a scary defense, who dat? I hope so. I'll worry about the depth on the defensive line. And Roby ain't no all-pro or anything, man, but we'll see. But I think it's an upgrade over Ken Crawley. Craig Dugas, good morning. Jerry DeLucky, good morning. Finally got power back last night. So glad to hear that, Jerry. Man, what a grind. Good for y'all. Glad to hear that, man. Enjoy the AC. Charlie Cavell, Sam Donnellan, good morning. AJ Holland, got Morgan. Kirk Taylor trying to get off the Florida game. Trying to get off for the Florida game. Can come watch the game with you and Ro at Don Juan. Yeah, I'll be there probably for the second half of games this year. And Ro usually walks in like right at the end of the game. So, like we're not gonna be parked watching the entire game, but I will try to get there for the second half because we start right when the game ends. I don't want to be driving during the fourth quarter. But yeah, man, come on. But why wouldn't you go to the game? If you're gonna come in town, go to the game. And then come hang out after. Brian and Andy Pinton, good morning from Fort Worth. Did you hear Ingram and Shanahan said about they weren't ready? Doesn't make sense. Talked about it a little bit ago. Yeah. Yeah. It showed, didn't it? You were there. Matt Godwin, what's up? Scott Chauvin, same issue with Hugh Freeze. I don't know that you're going to hire a guy with the type of off-field exploits Hugh Freeze has, considering you're in the midst of a Title IX investigation. I mean, as a football coach, 100%. Matt Campbell, Kyle Whittingham, Luke Fickell, all interesting names. Whittingham hasn't really seemed to want to leave Utah. Fickell will be destined for a bigger job. I don't think there's any question where I don't know. And Matt Campbell just signed an extension with Iowa State like this spring. He has rebuffed a lot of big offers. I don't know if he'd leave, but you could certainly ask. Chewy Gutierrez, keep hearing about O being a great recruiter. Our offensive line and defensive line have zero talent. What happened? I mean, they've landed some big prospects. Mason Smith obviously was a big prospect. But that's fair. I mean, I think Jaquelin Roy was big to keep him home. Offensive line, I think that's totally fair. I mean, they have certainly missed on the offensive line. Daniel Sinetz, good morning. Pat Huseman, bet the Mannings would love it if Lane left Ole Miss after this season. LOL. Maybe so. I'm assuming you're referring to Arch and his decision. And my understanding is that maybe Arch's mom isn't the biggest Kiffin fan. But again, I'm outside looking at all that. Let's see, put this out there. If they do fire O mid-season, who'd be the interim coach? Normally you would promote one of your coordinators, but I don't know. Say Corey Raymond, maybe. Tenure, been there the longest. I'm trying to think if there's an analyst that has head coaching experience. There's really not a great candidate, Marvin Mackey, you still fighting for Jimbo? I'm not fighting for Jimbo, Marvin. Someone asked the question, and the point that I made is the athletic director at LSU is the same athletic director that hired him at Texas A&M and did so with a $0 buyout. You're naive if you don't think that that would at least be a call he makes. And I'm with you. First option should be Kiffin. That would be my choice, would be Lane Kiffin. But I'm also telling you the same reason they didn't hire Kevin O'Sullivan would be a hang-up with Lane Kiffin. Ray Slocum, Brian Wynn, do you think Ensminger comes in to help on game days or play calling? He does not. I know that Steve hasn't even been up to the building. Ed Ogeron asked him to come to every game this year, so they flew him out to LA, which is why you saw him walking in. But he has no role whatsoever at all. Hey, Dad, good morning. Awesome. Kenny and Nancy, those are my godparents. They live in Pelican Point, so they have power. That's fantastic news. Chris Maggio, morning. Love the debate between you and T. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you for listening. That is the Scone and T podcast. We will record another episode today. It'll drop, I guess, around noontime. By the way, Locked on LSU is already published today. I have a busy morning, so I published Locked on LSU last night. So if you want today's Locked on LSU, it's published already. However you get your podcast, search Locked on LSU. Please subscribe. It's a massive help to me. How about Lattimore suspended or not? He's not suspended. Talked about that a few weeks ago. I went and looked at the rule book. It was a nonviolent crime. The commissioner can also look at the player's personal record, and because Lattimore has no record prior, they can be lenient. I think they're waiting for the whole legal system to play out with it before they do anything. Spurge, LA native living in Dallas, get tired of hearing what they did 25 years ago. Just laugh at him. Just point and laugh at him, Spurge. Hey, Drew. Matt, your boy's beautiful. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Chip has won like 13 games in 4 years. Hard pass. But you also got to keep in mind what he inherited. It is undeniable he inherited an awful situation. And last year they were close to breaking through. They were 3-4, but their 4 losses were by combined 15 points. They were right there. And now he's got a veteran team, so let's see what he does with it. I mean, he's obviously still a very elite play caller. I don't even think in doubt. Is Napier a serious contender? He might be. I mean, I don't know that LSU would hire the coach from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, but Napier, I think Napier should have left last year, quite honestly, when he had opportunities. They're not surprising anybody this year, I guess. I mean, Texas whipped him, and we'll see. All right, a few more. Kenneth Martin, morning, Matt. Your opening monologue on AFR yesterday was brilliant. You crystallized my thoughts so eloquently. You have to be talking about Monday, right? With the Ogeron stuff. But thank you very much. Yesterday we opened with RC. Thank you, I appreciate it very much. I think that's been well received because a lot of people feel that way. Scone and tea is pure gold. Who could have seen that coming? Brad David, Joe Oliva really listened to what was said about him in local radio. Not only did he listen to what was said about him in local radio, he listened to the station. Joe Oliva was our biggest P1. P1 is an industry term for like your most loyal listeners. He was our biggest P1. He listened to the station every single day. He listened to all of our shows and everything that was said all the time. Yes, like he is a very small, petty man. All right, just about to wrap up here, y'all. Anyway, yes, Joe Oliva listened to every word we said every single day. The amount of times that I got calls from LSU administrators or my bosses got calls from LSU administrators because of anything I said was nauseating. It was a very, very unfulfilling time professionally for me because it was a constant nuisance that the athletic director at LSU was so worried about everything I said on air, and I constantly had to hear about it. Yes, he's trust. That is why, in part, I celebrated so joyfully when Richard Lipsey used every bit of influence that he has to get rid of King Alexander and Joe Oliva. LSU athletics and the university as a whole are infinitely better off without those men having anything to do with this university. As you saw with King Alexander already being fired at Oregon and nobody even sniffing Joe Oliva. Who would ever hire that man? Hi, can you say hi to Dad's show?
Hi, Dad.
What's on? Hey, can you tell me something? What? Come see. I have a question for you. Come here. Come here. He gone. Okay. All right, y'all. Stephen Miller, what's up? Would be a score that would satisfy offensively. Have it over in the third quarter in a 45-10 type game. Josh Sibley, it's working. What's working? Reagan Lee, I mean, I've heard Freeze's testimony after all stuff happened at Ole Miss. He went through counseling. Maybe Reagan. I'm not saying any. I personally like Hugh Freeze, and I would love to see him be the coach. I'm just being realistic with you and telling you I don't think that would happen given the nature of the Title IX stuff going on at LSU right now. Jonathan Martin. Okay, y'all, I think we are done. All right, let me bounce. I got to get out of here. So, y'all, Locked on LSU is already published. If you care to listen, just search however you get your podcast, Locked on LSU. Please subscribe if you haven't done so yet. That's just, I can't tell you how big of a help that is to me. So, and then later today, we should have a new Scone and tea preview in the weekend. So, oh, gotcha, Josh. Good deal. Okay, y'all have a great day. Locked on LSU is published, and we'll see you for AFR 3. Peace.